It is Tuesday morning, and Lucy and I are pulling out of the Florida house for the last time. And I'll have to say, I'm sad to go. I have had so much fun in Florida. It is my spirit state. It is wild and gorgeous, fun, and full of surprises. I had so much fun here in Florida. I really did. But today, Lucy and I are off on our next adventure. Are you excited to be out of the car? Lucy and I made it here to Destin. It was an easy drive. It took about, I think, 5.5 hours. You know, one thing I can say about Florida, and I love Florida so much, I love Florida so much, is in particular, like in the central Florida area up to the North Florida area, it's really pretty to drive around. I actually had a girlfriend come stay with me a few weeks ago, and we drove from where I live over to the coast, and both of us were saying the whole time, oh, it's so pretty, it's so pretty, it's so pretty, because you're not really on freeways. Today we were on the freeway for a little while, but most of Central Florida, you're on these little back roads, and it's gorgeous, and it's pretty, and it's green, and it's lovely. It was just all good. So we had an uneventful trip, and I actually stopped when I got into Destin because my friend Lisa told me to get the shrimp at Destin Ice, and I got, I think it was the red royal shrimp. She said they're so good, and they were so good, and I ate the whole thing. I had, I think, about 1/2 pound of shrimp. They were delicious. I'm actually staying at Lisa's condo here in Destin. You guys know her. She's Lisa Monique, my girlfriend, and she has the YouTube channel In the Garden with Lisa Monique. And I know a lot of you watch her because you've told me. So she and I have actually spent time here in Destin together a couple of times, and she's had this condo. Gosh, I knew when she first bought it a few years back, and she was decorating it and doing the whole thing. And then I got to come to Destin, and I would actually stay in a condo that belongs to her girlfriend just a few doors down and have my own space, and Lisa would stay here, and we'd go do fun stuff, go to the beach and go out to dinner. It was really just a fun time. So I'm staying overnight here in Lisa's condo. She actually Airbnbs this condo. It's so cute. I'll have the link for her Airbnb and her YouTube channel down below if you don't know her, or if you haven't seen her Airbnb. It's really darling. It looks a lot different than when she first bought it. You know, she just did a beautiful job decorating. And when I walked in today, I was like, oh my gosh, she's just put in some little touches and some little pieces of art here and there and some pillows. It looks gorgeous, and it's right on the water. I think you guys might have seen that. So you can go out and look at the canal, which leads to the ocean. It's just gorgeous. So Lucy and I are all settled in. I think it's going to be an early night for me because I need to be up early in the morning for day 2. Tomorrow we're driving to Memphis, Tennessee to pick up my daughter, Heather. I'm flying her in from Santa Barbara to Memphis. And she's going to drive with me on the rest of the great adventure. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I've been awake, I think, since 2:30, and I finally decided to get up at 4:30. So here we are. I do want to get an early start to Memphis today. It's about an 8-hour drive from where I'm at here in Destin. And I just want to make sure if there's traffic or something that I'm not late. My daughter Heather is flying in. I think she arrives a little before 5 p.m. So my plan is to have plenty of time to get there and go to the cell phone lot and hang out, maybe take a little nap before her flight gets in. The evening last night here in Destin was so beautiful. It was gorgeous. We actually had real puffy clouds and the sky was so beautiful. So it was just a lovely, lovely stay. You know, Lisa has done just an amazing job decorating this condo. It's an Airbnb. I wish I could give her 5 stars, but you know, this was just a friend trip. It wasn't an Airbnb trip. Everything is just really beautifully put together. You know, she's decorated it just so nicely, and there's all these little surprises. So that was a real treat. Now, as far as the trip with Heather and I, you know, I thought about asking her, and then I thought, oh my gosh, you know, that's a dicey situation to ask someone to drive across country with you. I called her a while back and I kind of laid it out, you know, sort of gently and not really, you know, making a big deal of it, just sort of softly suggesting it. And she went quiet. She said, Mom, yeah, are you inviting me on a cross-country Thelma and Louise adventure? And I said, oh yeah. So she was totally in. She was really excited about it. One thing I can say is that my daughter and I's relationship is mostly just horsing around. There's not a lot of seriousness that happens. So when we were making the final plans for the trip, she sent me this text. She's a sourdough bread girl. She's bringing a starter. She needed to feed the starter along the way. I don't get how to make sourdough bread. She thinks she's going to be able to teach me. So she sent me this text, and this is what I sent her back. So this is pretty much how it goes. The only time we're serious ever is when I'm talking about health stuff and she barely listens, and then we go back to horsing around again. I'm hopeful that the trip is just going to be lighthearted and fun, and that we're not tired of listening to each other breathe at the end of it. We started in Florida, went through Alabama, Mississippi, and now we're in Tennessee, sitting in the cell phone lot, waiting for Heather's flight to land. And Lucy, I cannot believe it. Stand up, sweetie. She's right down there. She has not laid down the entire trip. We've been on the road for 2 days. She has not laid down. She has stood in the seat. And it's so funny because she'll lay down and test it out and pop right back up again. And I keep telling her, lay down, dog sleep in the car, it's okay. She won't do it, and I don't know why. But of course, the minute I start the video, she lays down. The minute I start the car, she'll pop back up. So we're waiting for Heather, and then the real cross-country journey will begin. So this is the Memphis airport. It's not very big. It's kind of one of those smaller, cute little airports. Lucy and I were in the cell phone lot for, maybe about an hour and 20 minutes or something. I took a little nap. I hope Lucy did too. There she is! I've made it! How you doing, Lucy? She's still standing up. You hanging in there, baby girl? Oh, she's not too sure about this. What kind of car is this? What kind of car is this? Honda Accord.
Honda, okay. Honda Accord. Hands-free.
Lucy.
Lucy, baby.
What state are we in? And besides the state of confusion?
I think it's Nebraska. Well, we showed up in Tennessee, and then we were in Missouri. Spent a really long time in Missouri. Now we're in Nebraska.
No, we went to Iowa.
Wait, we were in Iowa for a couple
You should have seen it. I think you were sleeping.
You mean I didn't get out and pee there? Tennessee,
Missouri,
Iowa, Nebraska.
Are we still in Nebraska?
Yeah, we're still in Nebraska.
Nebraska for like a day and a half.
No, we're still in Nebraska. We're still gonna be in Nebraska. Those cookies you made are pretty awesome.
You know what I'm surprised at?
What's that?
First of all, I am stinky. And you may be too.
We already apologized. We blanket apologized.
I can apologize. And the dog too. And the dog too.
You hear that, Lucy? She don't care. She's like,
Is she looking at the window?
No.
Just, she can't get the in the car and lay down and go to sleep thing.
Nope, can't do it.
So here's what I'm surprised at. This has not been that bad. I thought it was going to just be like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But it hasn't been that bad.
It hasn't.
We did just have a burrito.
We did. I'm still finishing my burrito.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to get serious. Eat your burrito. So we made it to Central Oregon safe and sound. I think all in all, both of us, both my daughter and I, would say that the trip was easier and quicker than either one of us anticipated. I had been thinking about the trip for a long time because I had driven from the West Coast to the East Coast by myself with my dog and my cat. A couple years ago, about 2.5 years ago. And I remembered that although the trip went well, it was kind of a hassle to drive for 7 or 8 hours and then have to stop and check into a hotel room and get all settled in the room and get the animals into the room and then in the morning pack back up again and da-da-da-da-da. And as I was thinking about it, I thought, I wonder if I can drive back to the West Coast in one fell swoop. So I proposed the idea to my daughter, and I had to be really careful. I didn't want her to feel obligated to do it, and I also wanted her to love me at the end of the trip. So I called her up one day, and I kind of described what I was thinking to her, and she said, "Mom?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You inviting me on a cross-country Thelma and Louise road trip?" And I knew that everything was going to work out just fine. So I was planning the trip for a long time before we actually got in the car. And everything went so much easier than I had anticipated because I was kind of stressing about it. I would have all my stuff in the car, well, except for the boxes that I shipped, my daughter and my dog. And I wanted to make sure that we were safe, that the trip went okay, that we were prepared, and everything went as smoothly as possible. There were a few incidents, I'm not gonna lie. There may or may not have been an unfortunate experience with an armadillo in Missouri. Now, I classify it as suicide. I mean, there are some places that armadillos just don't need to be. The freeway is one of them. So there was that. And we did get caught in a snowstorm, kind of snow flurries, going over a pass in Wyoming. And I'm out there at 2 a.m. in my flip-flops, pumping gas in a snowstorm. And you're probably wondering, Kimberly, why were you wearing flip-flops on a cross-country journey? Well, I had broken my toe a couple of weeks before I left, and I still really can't put on closed-toed shoes. So there we have it. So just to recap, I left Florida at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. I drove about 5.5 hours to Destin, where I stayed overnight at Lisa's place. Lisa, thank you so much. That helped so much. It was so sweet of you. Her place is gorgeous. And then got up the next morning. I drove the 8 hours to Memphis, where I picked up Heather. She hopped in the car. So this was Wednesday. I picked Heather up Wednesday at about 6 p.m. She hopped in the car and we took off. And we did not stop except for gas and a quick little truck stop adventure. And I'll tell you what, we only go to the nicest truck stops, and we saw some funny stuff along the way. So we drove and we drove, and while I was driving, she was sleeping. While she was driving, I was sleeping, and it just worked out perfect. So picked her up Wednesday, 6 p.m., and we were having breakfast in Redmond, Oregon at 8 a.m. on Friday morning. So all in all, it was amazingly easy trip, much faster than we anticipated, and got to Oregon Friday morning, which is what I kind of figured. You know, I had done the math and calculated, and if we keep moving, where are we going to be? And I thought, oh my gosh, this will be great. We'll go someplace, have a really big breakfast, and then get to the Airbnb and just crash for the day. Well, that's pretty much what we did. We went and got a great big breakfast, got to the Airbnb, Heather crashed, and I was wide awake. So I ended up going over to the house and unpacking the car and yada, yada, yada. Now, you just heard me mention the Airbnb. I had planned ahead and rented an Airbnb right in the community that I'm now living so that we would have a comfortable place to stay, because my place has nothing in it. I didn't bring a stitch of furniture. So it really worked out well. We got a beautiful Airbnb. It was super comfortable, great location, right by the creek, just beautiful, comfortable, really well furnished, and that's where we stayed. I think we were there for 4 or 5 nights. By the way, this view here, this is my backyard. I just love it. So what's next? Well, let's see. I've got a brand new house. I don't own it. I'm renting it. I will show you guys all of it in its chaotic mess right now in next week's video. Now, I did not bring a stick of furniture. Absolutely nothing came with me. And you're probably wondering, well, Kimberly, what happened to all your furniture that you got together in your place in Florida? Here's an interesting little tidbit. My landlords bought all of it, including all the decor items. They specifically wanted the decor items as well as all the furniture. They just really liked how I had furnished the place. So we kind of made a deal and they bought all my furniture. So I literally walked out with my personal stuff, my clothes, my makeup, my work stuff, some kitchen stuff, and took off. Everything was mailed, I'm not kidding you, in boxes. And I have about, oh gosh, probably 40, 50 boxes in my house right now. It's an absolute chaos right now. So I'm going to be showing you my new place next week in next week's video. And over the coming weeks and months, you can come along with me as I fully decorate this new place here in Central Oregon. It's going to be a lot of fun because my goal is to buy almost everything, either thrifting or at yard sales or at state sales. And I've already started in. I picked up a couch, so I have a place to sit and a couple of items for the kitchen. So I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun to put together this new household in an exciting new location in the Pacific Northwest. I've already done a few things. I have found a meat dealer. Yes, grass-fed, grass-finished, locally raised beef. I already picked up some meat from them. I've found lots of dairy people, lots of egg people. You can get gorgeous pastured eggs for $5 a dozen, which you guys know me, that's thrilling for me. One thing I want to share, and I've noticed it about myself since I've been here, I cried when I pulled out of the Florida place. I love Florida so much. It's my spirit state. It really is. And I had so much fun in Florida. I really did. I kayaked like a mad woman. I enjoyed the weather. I just had a great time. So when I pulled out in Florida, I cried. And I thought, gosh, it's gonna be an adjustment for me to get used to it. But since I've been here. I haven't missed it a bit. I am so thrilled to be here. I am loving every single bit of it. It's gorgeous. It's fun. It feels like home because, you know, I'm from the West Coast. And I'm so excited about getting to know this new community and getting involved in all the activities. I just am thrilled to be here. I haven't missed Florida a bit. Does this mean I don't love Florida? No, I absolutely love Florida. I'm just very happy to be here. That's the cross-country road trip that I took with my daughter, starting in Central Florida, going all the way to Central Oregon. It was fun, it was fast, it was pretty doggone easy, and I'm so glad that you guys came along with us. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make sure you come back next week to take a look at my new house as we start on the decorating, making a house a home adventure. I'll see you then.